Right, so welcome back, and we can do more complex type checking. So I could go maybe to, I don't know, the user age, that is a number. Well, maybe I can use an array, and this array is going to say, well, we are expecting a number, but it could be also a string. So if we pass a string or a number, it will pass the type checking. Right now we are using a number. I'm going to use a string. So, and we can check if this passes or not. Gonna reload the application, we get no warnings, so that passes. We can also mark props as required. Maybe going to use this one. I'm going to go here, and now instead of using just a value, I'm going to use an object. And since we use an object, we have different properties that we can use. First, it's going to be the type, right? So we still need to use the type. This is called type checking. So we can say string. But then also we can mark this as required, just like that. And this one needs to be equal to true once we use it. So now if I maybe go to the also known as and delete it, or maybe I'm just gonna, remove it. There we go. I'm gonna delete it. And if I reload the application, notice that we are getting it, missing required prop known as. And this is useful because maybe if a different dev on your team forgets to pass a prop that you really need for this component, well, you're letting the dev know, right? You have an error. So okay, so what else can we do? I'm gonna go back to the profile, and if the other dev is not passing the prop, we can add a default value. So this is like a fallback, so non-available. So if you're not passing it, and make sure that you're not passing it, it's gonna roll back to non-available, but you're still getting the required prop warning. We can also maybe add our custom validation, not the default one that you get. Let's see that I want to use the last name, this one. So this one, I'm going to use an object just like before, and we still need to validate the type. So I need to say type equals to, in this case, string. But I want to add my own validation. So for this, you have the validator. So validator equals to a function, and that function needs to return true or false if it's valid or if it's invalid. So in this case, inside, maybe we can do just an if-else statement, and I can ask if the value, because you have access, and maybe I made a mistake right here, if you have the value is just whatever is that we are getting as prop. I guess the user last name, it's Jones, right? So if the value, which is Jones, it's completely equal to Jones, just like this, we're going to let it pass. And in this case, you return true. But if it's not, we're going to return maybe false. And if it's returning false, it's going to give you the warning. So false. So now if I reload the application, we get the warning for this, but that's fine. And we are getting the Jones. So I'm going to make a mistake and pass a different name. So like Jones with double S. And if I reload the application, we get the warning for user last name. That should be Jones, Okay, so, this is what we can do with type checking it. And if you go to documentation, you have a lot more things that you can do. Like I said before, this is just a nice thing to do when you create an application, but it takes a lot of time. So it's completely up to you.